The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. What was that in the sky? Debris from SpaceX's Starship rocket startling Bahamians. Bahamas Air investigating an incident at an airport in Haiti. And silent epidemic, kidney failure at an all-time high. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, March 7th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesne Dean will be here on this Friday. Also, this morning, we are going to be talking to an inspiring young man. You are going to be delighted to hear him in our special monthly series looking at issues facing people with disabilities. You definitely don't want to miss it. Later in business, we're talking with the Bahamas Development Bank and their special EV promotion for businesses. So a lot to get to on this Friday. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, debris from a SpaceX Starship rocket seen falling over the Bahamas. In videos and photos taken last night all over New Providence and other parts of the Bahamas showing debris. Residents from Long Island, Bimini, Ragged Island, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Eleuthera, Abaco also sharing videos of the debris moving across the night sky. SpaceX confirming last night that it lost contact with its Starship rocket. On the social media platform X, SpaceX said that during the Starship's ascent burn, quote, the vehicle experienced a rapid unscheduled disassembly and contact was lost. Our team immediately began coordination with safety officials to implement pre-planned contingency responses. SpaceX says it will review the data from the flight to better understand the root cause. This was taking off in Texas. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Philip Davis briefed on the matter, we're told, and the government says it will issue a statement on what happened shortly. Police stopping a 34-year-old man from jumping off the Sydney Poitiers Bridge. This happened on Wednesday. The alleged attempt happened shortly before 1 p.m. Officers arrived at the bridge and met the man who they said was attempting to jump. Police were able to intervene and prevent him from harming himself. He was taken to the hospital. Officials at Bahamas Air say the airline is investigating an alleged incident that happened at the Hugo Chavez Cap-Haitian International Airport in Haiti on March 1st involving a Bahamas Air flight attendant, Bahamas Air flight from Nassau. The airline saying Bahamas Air is taking this matter very seriously and is reviewing all relevant procedures to ensure stringent security measures are upheld. The airline is cooperating fully with the Haitian National Police and other relevant authorities. It says that the Royal Bahamas Police Force and local Interpol have also been contacted to launch an investigation. The statement from Bahamas Air saying that no further updates will be released until they have been informed with further facts on the matter. According to Haitian news outlets, police in Haiti, along with security agents at the international airport in Cape Haitian, seizing $106,260 US dollars on March 1st in a package that came from the Bahamas and was transported on a Bahamas Air flight. According to the Haitian police, the package was sent in the name of a Haitian man who was a resident in Nassau and was intended for 2 Haitian nationals in Haiti. Those 2 people were arrested for their alleged involvement in money laundering and the financing of terrorism. Haitian officials have reportedly beefed up security and enforcement at the airport to curb corruption. A man who killed 2 people after he crashed into their scooter will learn his fate next month. 32-year-old Mankanko Bethel appeared before Justice Gregory Hilton for sentencing yesterday. Last month, Bethel pleaded guilty to vehicular manslaughter in the deaths of DeAndre Woodside and his driver, Rashad Roll. Around 1:50 a.m. on October 16, 2023, Bethel was driving an unlicensed and uninsured Mitsubishi on East Street in New Providence when he overtook a car and collided head-on with the scooter. A third passenger on the scooter was also injured and lost a limb as a result of the incident. However, Bethel does not face charges in relation to her injuries. Prosecutors asked the judge to jail Bethel for 2 years and 6 months and to order him to pay $10,000 to the estate of each of the deceased. Defense lawyer Sonia Timothy Knowles asked the court to impose a sentence of 1 year with credit for the 8 to 9 months that Bethel has spent on remand. Justice Hilton will give his decision on April 16th. A man convicted of attempted murder and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life for a shooting that was caught on camera. Tavare Mejas, otherwise known as Little Spoon, was remanded to prison to await a sentencing hearing scheduled for June 18th. Jurors accepted that on April 10th, 2021, Mejas was at the B. Watts liquor store on Bethel Avenue where he had a drink with Darren Gumby Minnis. Mejas left and returned a short time later. Upon returning, Mejas pressed the barrel of a gun to the back of Minnis' head. He pulled the trigger, but the gun jammed and Minnis ran away. Desmond Strap Smith asked what happened, and that's when Mejas started shooting. Smith fled, and while running, he felt a sharp pain in his left hand and realized that he had been shot. Minnis and Smith identified Mejas as the gunman, and police arrested him at his home in Stapleton Gardens later that night. Police found a pair of camouflage pants and a black shirt with writing on it in his bedroom closet. Surveillance footage showed the gunman wore similar clothing. Mejas did not take the witness stand at his trial before Justice Gregory Hilton. However, during his police interview, he denied taking part in the shooting. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville announcing the launch of a kidney donor program here in the Bahamas, as he noted increasing numbers of renal failure among the population. Darville is calling it a silent epidemic, saying that chronic renal failure is at an all-time high in the country, and from the most recent numbers, more than 600 Bahamians, both young and old, are on the government-funded dialysis program. He says that many more are suffering from end-stage renal disease and are on the waiting list. Darville's not the first to raise alarm over the prevalence of kidney failure in the country. Last year, Public Hospitals Authority Managing Director Abinette Roll told the Nassau Guardian that the dialysis needs of many patients with non-communicable disease has become one of the biggest public health expenses. Darville says that he and his colleagues see the devastation brought on by kidney disease every day. Darville's also saying that renovations to the Accident and Emergency Department at Princess Margaret Hospital are scheduled to be completed by May. The renovations were initially slated for completion in November 2024, but the reason for the delay is unclear. And the Davis administration will introduce labor law reforms this year, including amendments to the Employment and Industrial Relations Act along with expanded maternity, paternity, and mental health leave. Minister of Labor and the Public Service Pia Glover-Roll making that announcement yesterday. She said the government is working on these reforms in partnership and consultation with the unions, Employers Confederation, and other government agencies. Overseas, Russia targeted Ukraine's energy infrastructure in a large-scale missile and drone bombardment during the night, hours after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said talks with the U.S. on ending the 3-year war will take place next week. Ukraine came under a massive missile and drone attack. According to the energy minister, at least 10 people, including a child, were injured. Russia has repeatedly targeted Ukraine's power grid during the war. The attacks have depleted electricity generation capacity and disrupted critical heating and water supplies. Ukrainian officials have accused Russia of weaponizing winter in an effort to erode civilian morale. Investigations continue into what led to 3 lawmakers in Serbia being injured after chaotic scenes in Serbia's parliament, during which smoke bombs and flares were thrown, further fueling political tensions in the Balkan country. Lawmakers were scheduled to vote on a law that would increase funding for university education, but opposition parties said the ruling majority was also planning to approve dozens of other decisions. They said that that was illegal and that lawmakers should first confirm the resignation of Prime Minister Milos Vučić and his government. Chaos erupted about an hour after the parliamentary session started, with opposition lawmakers blowing whistles and holding up a banner reading, quote, "Serbia has risen so the regime would fall." Hundreds of opposition supporters rallied outside the parliament building during the session. Video footage from the assembly hall showed clashes between lawmakers and flares and smoke bombs being thrown. Serbian media said eggs and water bottles were also thrown. Officials also said that 3 people were injured in the disturbance, including a lawmaker who had to be taken to the hospital. Parliament Speaker Anna Brennbeck also accused the opposition of being a terrorist gang. And U.S. President Donald Trump postponing 25% tariffs on many imports from Mexico and some imports from Canada for a month amid widespread fears of the economic fallout from a broader trade war. The White House insisting its tariffs are about stopping the smuggling of fentanyl, but the taxes proposed by Trump have caused a gaping wound in the decades-old North American trade partnership. Trump's tariffs plans have also caused the stock market to sink and alarmed U.S. consumers. In addition to his claims about fentanyl, Trump has insisted that the tariffs could be resolved by fixing the trade deficit. He emphasized while speaking in the Oval Office that he still plans to impose reciprocal tariffs starting April 2nd. Trump said before he signs the orders, quote, "Most of the tariffs go on the April the 2nd. Right now we have some temporary ones and small ones, relatively small, although it's a lot of money having to do with Mexico and Canada." Trump says he's not looking to extend the exemption on the 25% tariffs for autos for another month. Imports from Mexico that comply with the 2020 USMCA trade pact would be excluded from the 25% tariffs for a month, according to the orders signed by Trump. Auto-related imports from Canada that comply with the trade deal would also avoid the 25% tariffs for a month, while the potash that U.S. farmers import from Canada would be tariffed at 10%, the same rate at which Trump wants to tariff Canadian energy products. In sports, showing some true resolve and school spirit it's known for, the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine battling back fiercely on day 2 of the Bahamas Association of Independent Secondary Schools Track and Field Championships at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium, closing the gap on the Queen's College Comets. At one point on Thursday, SAC trailed by nearly 50 points. With strong representation in the 100-meter events and field events, they narrowed the space between QC and themselves to just 14.5 points at the end of the day. QC still leads, accumulating 716 points after day 2. SAC sits in second with 701.5 points, and the Temple Christian Sons round out the top 3 with 260.5 points. The St. Anne's Blue Waves are fourth with 138, and the St. John's College Giants right behind with 135.5 points. And the University of Mississippi Rebels women's basketball team, led by Bahamian head coach Yo McPhee McEwen, are into the quarterfinals of the Southeastern Women's Basketball Tournament. Rebels having a remarkable regular season, securing 10 SEC wins for the 4th consecutive year and an overall record of 19-9. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NBA, the LA Lakers showing some true grit at this midpoint of the season. Thursday night, the Lakers provided their coach J.J. Redick with another memorable callback moment. LA began a stretch of 5 games against some of the top teams in the NBA with a 113-109 overtime victory over the New York Knicks. The Lakers have won 8 straight and are second in the Western Conference at 40-21. The Lakers trailed by double digits midway through the 4th quarter, but rallied to force overtime, tied at 107 on free throws by injured Knicks guard Jalen Brunson late in the extra session before Los Angeles closed out with a 6-2 run. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got a high system that's going to emerge off the southeastern U.S., gradually sinking southwards across the Bahamas. Beginning today, a dry air mass accompanying the system will promote some tranquil weather conditions and near zero potential for showers, today at least. Cooler temperatures anticipated for tonight. That air mass is going to remain across the country through the weekend, with temperatures warming up quite a bit as high pressure gradually retreats eastwards. But another cold front is going to move in, and the associated prefrontal trough will move off the U.S. coast on Monday and quickly move out of the area by late Tuesday. That's going to lead to some strong storm force winds impacting the majority of the islands. By midweek, another high-pressure system will dominate weather for the remainder of next week. But for today, there remains a moderate to high risk of dangerous rip currents and rough surf impacting Atlantic exposures. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to remain on shore on islands with Atlantic coastlines. For today, for most areas, we're seeing sunny conditions turning fair tonight, less than a 10% chance of showers. Winds north to northeast at 10 knots or less this morning, becoming southeast to south at 10 knots or less by tonight. Expect winds to become light and variable at times today, especially for the northern and northwest Bahamas. Temperatures today around 79 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, about 26 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a cool 55 Fahrenheit to 57 Fahrenheit. That's 13 to 14 Celsius, even a bit cooler for the extreme northern Bahamas like Grand Bahama and Abaco. Don't forget, we spring forward this weekend. Daylight saving time returns 2 a.m. Sunday. Set your clocks forward an hour before you go to sleep on Saturday night. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start.
You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it, just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up,
is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of the start of
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796 standard. Text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now on a Friday, Duquessadine. Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
Great to have you with us. We missed you on Tuesday.
Yeah, couldn't make Tuesday, but TGIF.
Hey, great to see you. Great to see you. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about this morning. It's the first Friday of the month. That means it's time for our monthly series on issues affecting people with disabilities. And today we're going to meet an inspiring young man who's doing some big things despite autism. And it is going to be a great conversation this morning. That's coming up, and our friend Dario Charlton will be here with us for that as well, as usual. And then later in business, we are talking with the Bahamas Development Bank and their special electric vehicle promotion for businesses. Businesses looking to add some electric vehicles to their fleets. They're offering you something special. We're going to get all the details about that this morning and the special partnership that they have. So that's all ahead. But right now, let's talk about what's in the news. And in the news, just again, a reminder that Daylight Saving Time returns this weekend at Springford. You're going to lose an hour, unfortunately, but I'm really hoping this is the final time that we will do this, that we will spring forward. It'll be a permanent Daylight Saving Time. Just for the love of God, please let this be the case. And, we're waiting on only one man to make this call because the Bahamas doesn't seem to want to
be independent.
Clearly is not, right? So we're all hoping that Donald Trump will do this.
No, because then he'll reverse it tomorrow.
This is the one thing I'm hoping that he will do and keep in place. Because that one we can agree on, President Trump. But please, although his tone was changing, this is what you're talking about, right? His tone was changing recently because he said he wanted to end Daylight Saving Time. We don't know if that meant end the switching back and forth, because before he wanted permanent Daylight Saving Time, but he recently said he wanted to end it. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people love Standard Time. I despise it. But we're hoping that it'll be permanent Daylight Time.
The days will be longer.
In the summer,
you know what?
yes.
Miracles happen. Prayers still get answered. So
it won't be. The prayers of some people.
We'll see.
But that's how things work.
Yeah.
So let's hope this is the last time we do this back and forth thing. This is really driving people crazy. This is what I do now. Some of my clocks don't change. Always in daylight time. You say, but you're still never on time. But don't worry about that. It's just my clocks.
That's your rebellion. That's
there
your
you
act
go.
of a rebellion.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it is.
Always in daylight saving time. So yes, it is 8:22 in my world.
Oh my! Well, that'll be the case on Sunday.
On Sunday,
no,
that's
on
right.
Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah, and you'll have what, 6 months of it?
No, 7.
7 months.
7.
Of it. Okay.
Yeah, So it's the majority now anyway, right? So in a country where majority rules, Anyway,
I love that spin on that.
That's happening. And hey, International Women's Day is tomorrow, and there's an amazing International Women's Day supplement in the Nassau Guardian today. Really, really great information, great highlights on women doing big things, and plenty of companies put in ads featuring female employees, and it's good stuff in there today. Pick up today's Nassau Guardian for your copy of that. But of course, the thing that everybody's talking about.
Yeah. I wished upon a star.
Oh, you got many of them, and they were all falling down on you.
So hopefully all those dreams come true.
Oh, good Lord. Or was it a nightmare?
Oh, we'll find out soon.
Superman? Was it
I don't know.
The
Flash?
The Flash?
I don't
was
know.
it the Transformers?
It was just rocket pieces.
It's just Elon and SpaceX.
Yeah, that's it.
And people all over the Bahamas, all over Florida, all over, they say, the Caribbean, saw this in the night sky last night. And this isn't one related to what our deal is with SpaceX.
Right,
this was something happening in Texas. Wow. And yet it didn't go as planned, and created quite a sight in the night sky last night. Listen to this audio from, this is one of the clean ones. Everybody else is filled with expletives and so you can't play that on the radio. But this one, you can hear the shock and the awe from, I believe she said she's in Long Island.
Wow.
And, or was it Ragged Island? But they heard this, Ragged Island. So we want to thank Mika Monroe for posting this on the Nassau Guardian site. But take a listen to the sounds, the reaction from folks in Ragged Island to seeing this in the sky.
Oh my gosh, what is that? What is that? What is that? It is so beautiful. I don't know what it is, but it's more prettier than person.
That's the aliens, they finally come.
What is that?
I know what that is. Honestly, you know what that is. Maybe I see much people see that.
Wow, again, and that's Ragged Island, and there were videos like that all over social media last night. People all over the country, again, many using all the big...
You thought they were aliens.
10,000, really? 10,000-pound words to describe what they were seeing in the sky. Many not knowing, but some knowing. I happened to be watching a newscast, and they broke in and said, well, we're breaking from Texas, where the rocket took off successfully, but apparently, let's read what they say exactly here. Things didn't go as planned. So here is the official report on this. The Associated Press saying that nearly 2 months after an explosion sent flaming debris raining down on the Turks and Caicos Islands, SpaceX launched another Mammoth Starship rocket on Thursday, but lost contact minutes into the test flight as the spacecraft came tumbling down and broke apart. This time, wreckage from the latest explosion was seen streaming from the skies over Florida and the Caribbean. It was not immediately known whether the spacecraft's self-destruct system had kicked in to blow it up. The 403-foot rocket blasted off from Texas. SpaceX caught the first stage booster back at the pad in the giant mechanical arms, but engines on the spacecraft on top started shutting down as it streaked eastward for what was supposed to be a controlled entry over the Indian Ocean, half a world away.
Wow.
Well, that certainly missed the mark. That was like Columbus, ending up nowhere near India. Oh, boy. Okay, contact was lost as the spacecraft went into an out-of-control spin.
Oh, wow.
Starship reached nearly 90 miles in altitude before trouble struck and before 4 mock satellites could be deployed. It was not immediately clear where it came down, but images of flaming debris were captured from Florida, including near Cape Canaveral, and posted online. The space-skimming flight was supposed to last an hour. So a SpaceX flight commentator said from the launch site, quote, "Unfortunately, this happened last time too.
Oh.
So we have some practice at this now."
What?
Okay. SpaceX later confirmed that the spacecraft experienced a, quote, rapid unscheduled disassembly
Rapid.
during the ascent engine firing. And, quote, our team immediately began coordination with safety officials to implement pre-planned contingency responses. That was posted in a statement online. Starship didn't make it quite as high or as fast as last time. NASA has booked Starship to land its astronauts on the moon later this decade. SpaceX's Elon Musk is aiming for Mars with Starship, the world's biggest and most powerful rocket. Like last time, Starship had mock satellites to release once the craft reached space on its eighth test flight as a practice for future missions. They resembled SpaceX's Starlink internet satellites, thousands of which currently orbit Earth, and were meant to fall back down following their brief taste of space. Starship's flags, computers, and fuel systems were redesigned in preparation for the next big step, returning the spacecraft to the launch site just like the booster. During the last demo, SpaceX captured the booster at the launch pad, but the spacecraft blew up several minutes later over the Atlantic. No injuries or major damage reported then. According to an investigation that remains ongoing, leaking fuel triggered a series of fires that shut down the spacecraft's engines. The onboard self-destruct system kicked in as planned. SpaceX said it made several improvements to the spacecraft following the incident, and the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, recently cleared Starship once more for launch. Starships soar out of the southernmost tip of Texas near the Mexican border. SpaceX is building another Starship complex at Cape Canaveral, home to the company's smaller Falcon rockets. Those are the ones that are the landing in the Bahamas. Those ones. But this one wasn't one of those. This wasn't part of the deal. But yet,
the debris.
That's what we saw last night. So that is really, boy. All right. And in the NASA Guardian today, there's an amazing photo of this and debris from that SpaceX Starship rocket seen falling over the Bahamas. Again, many videos last night from all over the country.
Yep.
Wow. Let's, so there was a statement issued saying that Prime Minister Davis was briefed on the matter yesterday and that the government would issue a statement soon. I've not seen it yet. Don't know if they've done it as yet, but it will be interesting to see what's going to be said. Again, this was supposed to land in the Indian Ocean, and it went terribly wrong. So that's, I think, part of the concerns about the next time there is one from Florida that's supposed to land in the Bahamas. What if it went terribly wrong? As you heard, it does have a self-destruct system, and that's mainly probably what you're seeing in the sky. It's self-destructing, but it has to land somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's
the stuff has to land somewhere.
And they have to practice.
Well,
how are you gonna get out there? Like seriously, they have to practice to see, like
they're practicing around people.
That's the problem, right?
And that's concerning, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Wow. So let's get your reaction to all of this, folks. There will be accidents. There will be mishaps. I'm sure the Wright brothers had some
challenges,
failures too.
So, right.
Even after they took flight. So what should be the position of this country with future Falcon launches and landings? Boy, let's hear from you. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Duquesa Dean.
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful and a lot concerned.
Yes.
Because a lot of us want to be politically correct, and our parties, no matter what they do, we don't look at the thing in a positive or a negative manner. The accident what happened yesterday, that has happened before that, but ain't nobody looked into it. That sonic boom, GNN tell you a long time, it ain't the rockets, the rockets could fail, man, make them. It's that sonic boom. That was our first accident.
That
Nobody
wasn't
noticed.
that's not the
We have-
that's not an accident. That wasn't
Pardon me?
that was not an accident. That was expected. I don't think people expected to hear it in New Providence, but that was part of what was expected to happen.
You see, exactly.
So,
see, you saying you stop somewhere, GNN going deeper. We have already have one, thank God, it is not the migratory time for our marine mammals. That is what the sonic boom is going to affect. That's the part that we ain't looking at and
you
see it because we
got
have
that from
already
your studies,
had
or
since then
where you've determined this based on how you feel,
determined
or
it based on school and science, everything we know about sonic waves that beach cause mammals to beach themselves. And one mammal has already, in the exhumed, beached itself. Thank God that might have been an isolated incident of the animal migrating. That is what
and
the
that
sonic bomb
happens,
is going to do.
and
Pardon
that
me?
does happen periodically. So I mean, it's hard to say that that's directly
Yeah,
what
but
caused
Dwight, we
it.
can't be brushing these things off, Dwight. Right? We cannot be trivially brushing these things off.
And
We
you're
gotta
right.
look at these
You
things
can't
serious.
do that, but you also can't just assume that that is what caused that, right? So you have to be we all have to be very careful.
Well,
Do
Dwight,
not
the
ignore
only
it,
thing
but
I
also
know
don't.
beach mammals, other than when they get sick or beach themselves,
That's a big thing.
Is sound waves, because that is their modus of operandi of communication and travel. Marine mammals. You understand? Now, the other accident that happened yesterday, that we better keep our fingers crossed and hope something like that will never happen in the Bahamas, because man made those rockets. You understand? FTX, XM Bank.
Okay, now you're reaching. I
SpaceX.
don't even know how you could lump that in together with this. All right, so they did issue the statement. This is very early this morning. Okay, so let's read this. This is from the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Statement from the government of the Bahamas on SpaceX Starship operations. On the evening of March 6, 2025, SpaceX launched its Starship starbase in Texas, United States. Minutes after takeoff, contact was lost with the spacecraft and debris was subsequently observed streaming over the Bahamas. The Bahamas has no regulatory authority under the Bahamas' Civil Aviation Space Flight and Re-Entry Regulations 2025 over SpaceX's Starship operations, and this incident is not part of the Bahamas' existing relationship with SpaceX's Falcon 9 program, which involves controlled booster landings in Bahamian waters following launches from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The FAA issues the launch license for Starship exercises. Remember, ours are Falcon. Yeah, that's Starship, which was Texas. The Bahamas was required under an existing treaty to issue a notice to mariners for maritime safety coordination. The debris from Starship fell into our airspace in the southern Bahamas. Following the incident, SpaceX contingency measures, which include immediate and continual communication with Bahamian officials. SpaceX has assured the government that, 1, the debris contains no toxic materials. 2, no significant impact on marine life or water quality is expected.
How do you know?
3, SpaceX teams will be in the Bahamas to conduct full debris recovery and cleanup efforts. We expect our applicable agencies, inclusive of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, will observe the cleanup activities. We emphasize that this Starship is not a part of the Bahamas' Falcon 9 program. The government of the Bahamas remains engaged with SpaceX and will continue to monitor the situation to ensure proper recovery actions are carried out. Yeah, you have questions.
I do.
Concerns.
Can you read that first part again? About
The first part?
About the airspace and
that part.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we have no control over what.
The Bahamas has no regulatory authority under the Bahamas' Civil Aviation Space Flight and Re-Entry Regulations 2025 over SpaceX's Starship operations. And this incident is not part of the Bahamas' existing relationship with SpaceX's Falcon 9 program, which involves controlled booster landings in Bahamian waters following launches from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The FAA issues the launch license for Starship exercises.
So the FAA could issue a license for Starship to go anywhere?
It wasn't supposed to go this way. You remember? It was
Right,
supposed to end up going
So how'd it get
west because it exploded. It was a mishap. It didn't work. So it
From Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close to the Mexican border.
Right. Far from us.
It's a mishap. It wasn't
Okay.
supposed to go like that.
Okay.
So it's not like they could say something to them about it. That's basically what they're saying.
Right,
If it
essentially.
were,
Right.
supposed to land in the Bahamas and said there was a mishap, they could say, "Hey, let's stop this crap right now." But that wasn't supposed to happen, and that's basically what they're saying here.
Okay.
Well, and I'm sure we knew that. We knew
Right.
that. So there's little they could do. It's up to the U.S. to say, okay, this is 2 times now you've had an issue. This is crazy. But will that happen? Elon is deeply embedded with the new president.
Right.
And will they call him out on stuff? But the other part is what's interesting to me. So these assurances that the debris contains no toxic materials, and that no significant impact on marine life or water quality is expected. This is what our previous caller was saying, right? I don't know if you can be so sure about that. And this SpaceX teams will be in the Bahamas to conduct full debris recovery and cleanup efforts. All right, let's get your reaction to that statement as well and the whole thing. Continue to call in. The phone lines are all lit up. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And Cassidy.
Morning.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. We can hear you.
Yes, Dwight. GNN was right, man. I mean, when it comes to our the marine life we have in our waters, man. If we could hear that bank sitting in my room inside Carmichael Road, and I could hear that bang like it was right someplace out east, right? Where you live in, right? What you think that that can do for the quiet sound of the ocean, man?
I actually don't know. Can you hear sounds like that are in space in the ocean?
No, I thought when it hit the ocean, man, right? Because
No. It landed on a pad. It didn't go into the ocean. It landed on a pad.
It landed on a pad. What's sitting on the ocean? Right?
Seaplanes land all the time.
Pardon?
Seaplanes land on the water all the time. I mean, what does that mean?
Seaplanes, when it land on the water, Dwight, I can't hear it from Carmichael Road, though.
Yeah, that didn't make that sound when it landed. That made the sound when it was in space.
Dwight, man, look, yo, we can't, I mean, it has
like
to
when
be
it was
something
coming,
wrong,
re-entering
something
the
wrong with it,
atmosphere.
Dwight,
When it
because
was re-entering the atmosphere, that's when it made the sound, not on land, not on the land.
it has to be something wrong with it, Dwight, because if it wasn't right, it wouldn't have moved from where it was to come to the Bahamas to do what they're doing. They ain't like they like us that much.
No. That's not correct at all. What you're saying, just trajectory and where they want to put the satellites. That's not it. It hasn't moved. They're looking for a place to land, and that's a convenient place to land. They're doing this from Florida.
That's fine, but I don't trust the SpaceX nothing, right? Because we don't have in the Bahamas.
Well, they're putting up satellites that are helping people in the Bahamas get internet. Because they can't rely on some other people for it, so it's
So you saying that they putting up satellite that the Bahamian people don't have to pay for internet?
No, I didn't say that.
Have to pay.
Didn't say that.
Have to pay.
No, that's a different story.
They're paying.
That's a different story.
If they have to pay, why we can be excited about that? I mean, why should we be excited about that?
Well, the people who have the service are quite excited. Ask them about
Yeah,
it.
they want stable internet.
They're plenty of people here are very
But
excited.
your concern is valid.
But right, before I go, right, I just want to put this part in, right? When it comes to our leaders, right, there's nothing they say I believe, right? Because see, in the Bahamas, the smartest set of people in the Bahamas are elected officials, right? And that being the case, this is why I can never trust them, because it's impossible for you to have all of the information on things you never knew before you became elected as a member of parliament, right? Bahamas, we don't have professionals in areas where our leaders like to carry us, but they can carry us there anyhow, just for the money's sake, right? So we have to do a little better in this country, man. We have to protect the interests of this country more than protecting the interests of foreign people would bring in their interests in this country just for money purposes. Because when they damage us, they go back to where they came from, and we left carrying the bag. Have a nice day, Dwight.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Well, oh boy. Let's take some more calls. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Are you there? No, let's take the other line. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Good morning.
Man, listen, if I had some of that apartheid alleged money, I'd have been experimenting.
Oh boy, you all are trying to get people in some serious trouble. I don't know why. Let's not.
Okay, no, my apologies.
Mhm.
If I had that kind of money, I would have been. A friend of mine described his experience on the Concorde when that was in operation because, they quickly feed you for the first hour of the flight. They feed you because after that you're going to have a good ride. But space exploration is here to stay. The money, it looks like it's coming from everywhere. And I think we should try and get a share of it if you're going to use our waters to land. Because I would like to ride a torpedo like everybody else, man. Why aren't we excited about getting into space exploration, Dwight?
I mean, if you want to be excited, you can get excited. Some of us feel that we have a lot of issues on Earth that we need to fix that are more pressing.
Well, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But be excited. Be excited. Plenty of people are excited.
Yeah, and some people just have limitless dreams. Like they have the money, and so they want to try to go into space and occupy Mars and these
to make
different
those planets look like Earth.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Dream big.
Oh, boy. Hey, knock yourself out. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I just want to weigh in briefly on some of the comments that are being made.
Yes.
Okay, first and foremost, for your listening audience, every vehicle that surpasses the speed of sound creates a sonic boom.
Mm-hmm.
Every vehicle, whether it be a car, a jet, a plane, a rocket, once it supersedes the speed of sound, it will create a sonic boom. That is the reason why in the aviation industry, we have something that is called noise abatement, so that aircraft when flying over populated areas do not surpass that speed, so persons don't be caught unawares. So you will find that even the Concorde, when they were in operation, would not surpass the speed of sound because of that. Persons have to also understand, based on the properties of water, sound that comes from air onto the water will not be heard.
Right.
That has to be created on the water. As a matter of fact, all of the boats, the late Boston whalers, will create more sound in the water than the sonic boom will create coming from the air to the water.
Yeah.
That is a fact. And you're speaking to somebody who knows this very well because I work in that industry.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. A lot, and similar to what he's saying, people asking, are the previous callers trying to suggest that the lightning is going to affect marine life? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Got a lot of your text messages. Let's get to these. This person says here, oh wow, this is a lot. This is all from this morning. Texter, what's happening here? Wow. Okay, so I can't read all of this. Let's see if I can pick out some parts. Pre-planned contingency responses. Elon Musk doesn't plan anything. It's his claim to fame. Do stuff and fix the mishaps later. He doesn't. Okay, wow. The debris that fell on the Turks and Caicos was also from a rocket launched from Texas. Elon is now flying these rockets over populated areas. That is unusual in the aerospace industry. Are you sure? And practice, exactly. That is Elon Musk speaking. Look at what he's doing with the lives of people in the U.S. And this is a lot here. Okay. Nobody told us about that sonic boom bomb-like sound that we heard in New Providence, which should have been predictable. Some were saying they were expecting, but I know it wasn't well publicized that even here we would hear it. Right. Yeah. The next oddity was Braun saying that they did tests on ocean activity the day. No, they did not. They did that, but before. They did a whole report. Was a year ahead almost. Yeah. So no, the baseline was established long before that. The sonic boom isn't the issue. The fact that they didn't know we'd hear it in Nassau is the issue. Well, again, I don't know who. That's not accurate. Some people did know, but it wasn't well publicized that we should expect that.
Correct. Yeah. There wasn't enough education.
Right. This person says here, what's happening here? What's going on? I don't understand the text. It's a lot of words here. Trump and Pope are the same. Pope Gregory changing the calendar. What? Okay. Dwight, this is the Twilight Zone, so they're practicing, hey? Like I told you, watch the weather as those clowns try to breach the dome, endangering our lives. Okay, this is getting crazy. Everybody calm down a bit. Calm down. This person says that Bahamians don't care which rocket it is. All they know is it's the same company, and this is what they are concerned about. This is not looking good. To convince Bahamians that this is good for our environment. And I hear you.
The trust issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Prime Minister Davis claiming that to be a climate advocate, but allows Musk to land aerospace rockets with hundreds of thousands of gallons of accelerants here, and he's up and down jet setting. This is a real farce for a climate advocate. Wow. Okay. Reminds me of a Simpsons episode when they had radioactive fish with 3 eyeballs. How can they be sure to brief from the rocket won't affect marine life?
And you know the Simpson Productions is coming.
Oh, boy. Dwight, agree with you on daylight saving time. UK specialists out. We need to, what? We need UK specialists out here to help us determine the toxicity of the materials. And we need to halt Falcon 9 for now. We need SpaceX to pay for fire engines all over the Family Islands. And Long Island and Eleuthera need at least 3 engines themselves. We want to do the cleanup and send them the bill. Trust and verify.
We need the money in escrow. We don't need to send the bill after.
Well, there might be something to this fire engine thing.
Mm-hmm, I like that.
Perhaps. That sound does affect birds, though. We need to remember them. Hopefully they were roosting. Well, I mean, that might still affect them if they're roosting. I don't know. Bahamians believe their own entire sky. If something is launched in this country, then we should be concerned. But we didn't. We don't own the entire sky. Bahamians believe they own the entire sky. Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not going to read that text. I can't read that. Wow. We should be proud to live in a country where people are allowed to do things they can't do anywhere else in the world.
Oh, wow.
And not even a government, but a private entity. And someone's big dreams are fine as long as they don't threaten the well-being of the rest of us. You and your guests know y'all are wrong. Who's y'all? Okay.
Obviously, they take everything literally. Don't get humor.
Dwight, are you okay with SpaceX trying to break through the firmament? And why would the government allow someone to damage our climate if they're fighting climate change? Whales will be affected. This is crazy. That's text. This person says here, it feels like our country's getting the short end of the stick with Musk's aeronautic endeavors. His landing a few weeks ago shook the windows of my home in the Carmichael Road area, and his landing with his landings in Exuma.
Again.
Well, boy. Let's listen to these calls before we have to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. Good morning. Good morning, DeQuesta.
Morning.
I hope you're doing well on this Friday. Thank God nothing fell on your head.
Yes, thank God. Amen.
But you know, Dwight, as long as, and DeQuesta, as long as Elon Musk in the White House, these things can continue to happen, you know. I believe somebody jammed that thing and that breakup. I think there are plenty more jammers because they want to send Elon Musk to Mars on a one-way trip.
On a one-way trip.
He ain't coming back. So we got to try to protect ourselves because they want Starlink, Link Stars, and everything associated with Elon Musk. You will see what's going to be happening to him. So we got to save ourselves, and the Prime Minister and them need to get out of this agreement quick with whatever they sign. They need to unsign it right now on behalf of the Bahamian people, because we are a very small country. And to have, I mean, it could have happened anyway. I don't know why. How come it just dropped? This is the second one that just dropped over the Bahamas. Is there some kind of traction in the Bahamas? Are we that beautiful that it had to drop in our waters? Why couldn't drop in the
I don't
US?
believe the last one. I don't believe that was
the first
SpaceX.
one.
That one was.
I don't.
That
Dwight,
was.
what X? I don't care what X it was. X,
That was the other rich
Y, Z,
billionaire.
I don't care what it was.
Right.
You see, it ain't dropping the United States. Ain't none of them dropping the United States. They drop everywhere else. So we behind it.
Hey, gravity is
Only God
interesting.
can help us now.
All right. Thank you very much. This is Paranoia Morning. Good morning, caller on the air. Are you there? All right. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We can get a couple more calls in before we take the break. Let's take this one and a couple more messages. These messages are something else today. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please. Turn on your radio. You're live on the air. What are you doing? We can hear you. You are live, caller. Oh, man.
You went to turn the radio.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, well, it's a long-term effect that will have. We may not see it today, tomorrow, yesterday, but we might not even be here when it happened, but it's a long-term effect that will happen. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
Yeah, why do you think that? How do you know this? Okay, that's all they have to say. Yeah, sure. Does our home insurance cover any debris damage from catastrophe?
Man, don't give them another reason to increase it, please.
Pretty sure falling space debris might not be in most people's home insurance coverage.
Please.
You might want to go out and try to get that, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
it's a
serious question. It's a serious question.
Woo! As we go to the break, this texter, Dwight, your seeming indifference is scary. Do you know something we don't know? Are you some secret undercover agent planning to keep us away from the truth? I'll let you wonder. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. Here am I floating round my tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that worry. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure. RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
It's time for your first good traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Reminding you that you can find your load solutions with RBC in your real-time traffic this morning at this hour. As usual, Milo Butler Highway seeing your heaviest traffic at the moment from well south of the Firestone roundabout. straight through to Tawny Blooms Darling Highway if you're heading northbound. Traffic back to the Long Fire Trail, eastbound especially at this hour. Over on Gladstone Road, it is busy for you as well, just north of Fire Trails where you'll see that heavy traffic if you're heading northbound up to John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamar Boulevard and the roundabout there. Blue Road is busy as well, as we're seeing heavy traffic from Carmichael straight up to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound, Independence Drive back to westbound at this hour. And Prince Charles Drive into Robinson Road, heavy traffic for you this morning, mainly westbound from Beatrice Avenue straight through to Marathon Road and East-West Highway. Very heavy for you once you get west of Soldier Road onto Robinson. Eastern Road also seeing heavy westbound traffic this morning. That's what we're looking at right now. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after the news here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. 10. Ground control 9, to Major Tom. 8, 7, 6. Commencing 5, countdown, engines on. 3, 2. Check ignition 1, and may God's love be off with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping.
We are back with Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you on this Friday morning, along with DeQuesta Dean, that she's here with us on a Friday. And coming up in a few minutes, it's our monthly series focusing on issues affecting people with disabilities. And we're going to be meeting a wonderful young man who is doing big things. Very inspiring story. Our co-host for that segment, Darrell Charlton's going to be joining us as well in just a few minutes. And later in business, we're talking with the Bahamas Development Bank on their special EV promotion for businesses looking to expand their fleets with electric vehicles. Get all the details about that this morning. That's coming up. Don't forget, we're springing forward this weekend, return to daylight saving time on Sunday at 2 a.m. All right, so we continue our discussion. We're talking about SpaceX and the Starship rocket that the big mishap last night and sent the debris flying over the Bahamas. We read the statement from the Office of the Prime Minister about this and getting a reaction to that. And so I stand corrected, yes, that incident in January over the Turks and Caicos, that was also SpaceX Starship rocket. Mm-hmm. So they're having some issues with that one. No incidents with Falcon 9 rockets, it seems, as yet. Hopefully not ever. Yeah, so this is quite something, that startled the people of Turks and Caicos earlier this year when that happened, finding the debris washing up on shores and stuff like that. So lots of concerns, absolutely lots of concerns. But again, these are not the Falcon 9 rockets, not the ones that are supposed to be landing in the Bahamas. Okay. This wasn't supposed to be going in this direction. This was supposed to be going in the other way, the Indian Ocean. But
and it did what it wanted to do.
Quite a different trajectory there. All right, so we continue to get your reaction. Text us 422-4796. Call us 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Okay, let's take this call and then we'll get to your messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning. Well, hey, Dwight. This is Latrey calling.
Oh, hi, Latrey Rammon. Good morning.
Morning. I just wanted to add to the conversation. Yesterday evening, at about around 9 o'clock, government officials had a conference call with SpaceX to go through the recent incident with the Starship mission. We wanted to also note that this is obviously a concern for government of Bahamas, and there will be further conversations about this in the coming days. I think you also explained that this is not a part of the Bahamas Falcon 9 program.
Right.
The Bahamas obviously have no approval or jurisdiction over the SpaceX Starship. This is something that is approved by the FAA for international airspace. We do get some advisory because a part of the existing treaty, we have to advise maritime in reference to their safety coordinations. We do anticipate that a team from SpaceX will be in the Bahamas today. They will obviously be working in direct contact with Dr. Rihanna Neely from the Department of Environmental Protection and Planning. So the government of the Bahamas is coordinating with SpaceX. It's important to note whether there was an agreement with SpaceX Falcon 9 program or not. These test flights occur as the United States rapidly expand their space missions, especially in part of SpaceX. So we understand the public concerns. Obviously, we are obviously concerned as well as a government. I will continue to talk through this with our partners. But I think it's important to know that this is not a part of the Bahamas Falcon 9 program. Falcon 9 has had multiple missions internationally.
Mm-hmm. So in the statement, we note that according to SpaceX, the debris contains no toxic materials. But how certain can we be about that? Is there independent testing to guarantee this?
That's why the Bahamas government and DEP will be involved in this process as well to ensure that there is an oversight of this. Obviously, that is the comments from SpaceX. The Bahamas will do its due diligence in the process as well. I think at the in our statement we reiterate this last night that all of our applicable agencies will observe this cleanup activities and ensure that what is being said by SpaceX can be confirmed.
Yeah. So, so for the folks, I'm sure you've been hearing the calls. People all morning very concerned about a mishap happening here with Falcon 9, and if it were to end up
exploding or
land here in the Bahamas, inhabited islands, people's homes. Tell us more about that and the plans that are in place to mitigate a disaster like that.
I think the Falcon 9 landing, obviously, which is a water landing, happens on a barge that is very far from land. I think it's a controlled landing. There's a lot of confidence in the safety of the Falcon 9. Multiple tests, multiple experience. Obviously, there are contingencies in place for environmental and safety hazards. I don't have that in full details, but what I have asked, and I've spoken to the Ministry of Tourism and the Office of the Attorney General for broader public information education on this exercise, and so we will do that in a sense of urgency, probably as early as next week, so we can ensure that Bahamians, as the Bahamas participate in this space, that the Bahamians are armed with the information, that they understand not only the positive and the benefits of the program, but how the mitigating and safety aspects of it. I think that Bahamians have a right to know that information, and the government have a right to give it to them. So what I will commit to doing, we have Aisha Bo, who has Bahamian. She's a daughter of Bahamian soil. She's a part of the program, and she's with SpaceX and very knowledgeable about it. I know she was in the Bahamas some days ago, and so I'm going to make sure that that the government continue this public exercise of education. But what I do know that the Falcon 9 has multiple missions, has a strong record of safe landings. But of course, with these things, there are contingencies in place, despite it landing on a barge over open water.
So I know we've heard about the donation to UB and the benefits this will bring with space tourism, but people are still looking for the real details here. When will we know more about exactly what we're getting out of this deal, especially monetarily?
Sure, yeah, definitely. I know the government of the Bahamas receive an amount annually from SpaceX. What I've been made to understand, and a part of that education will make that information public. What I've been made to understand is that there is a very high-valued network of tourists that travel around the world for space landing. And this, whether it's Bahamians making merchandise, this was an effort to expand the Bahamas touristic landing. Obviously, this is a big part of the United States and the Bahamas security intelligence sharing. Obviously, the Bahamas being the only country in the world that the United States is doing this with. This also have to do with the expansion of internet connectivity and coverage. And so there's this direct benefits of, obviously, to the Bahamas. Obviously, there's a much larger global benefit to the expansion of space missions. This also is a direct result of the Bahamas and the United States strong diplomatic relations. This had to have the approval of the State Department and various government agencies. I know that there was 2, I believe, environmental studies being released to the public. So I think what is important, and I've raised this internally, is that there need to be a continued effort to explain this thoroughly to the public. What is in it for the Bahamian people? What is going to be the benefits and the mitigating factors? And that's something that the government is committed to doing over the period of the next couple of days.
All right, so I know this is early yet. This just happened last night, but is there any indication that this will put a pause, perhaps, on the Falcon 9 launches, that there might be a delay before the next one so that there can be more research done on what exactly is happening with SpaceX?
Nothing has been communicated to me that the Falcon X9 program is on a pause. I think they treat these, I assume, I shouldn't be in this assumption, but I think as far as I've been relied that these are 2 separate programs. One is a test. Obviously, SpaceX are doing a number of tests as they expand their space program. Falcon 9, I reiterate, is already something that has multiple missions. What we do know is that as long as there is space exploration, there is a possibility of these things happening. I know that there are identified debris fields are in advance if something was to go wrong. We know that I think that SpaceX should by now issue a statement that would also direct Bahamians, if they were to come across any debris, how to interact with that debris and how to report the findings of that debris. So to your question, there's been no conversation to this point about pausing the program, though as far as
when is the next launch
advised that this is being separate. These are 2 separate things.
Okay. Do you know when the next landing is scheduled, or Troy?
I'm not entirely sure, but I know that there may be a possibility of more than 10 landings throughout the year, but I don't know when the next landing would be.
Okay, so I have a question about that because that's in 1 year, right? So I have a question about that because The other day, Braun was on, and they were talking about the after impact studies and all that sort of stuff, and that report needed to be reviewed so that we have when it's done, be reviewed so that we have an understanding of the impacts. Are we going to proceed with more of those landings before we get the report that says, you know what, there was no environmental issues to marine life, birds, whatever, or are we waiting for, conclusive information before we proceed with another?
I think obviously, I know that the Office of the Attorney General and DEP have defined protocols on the levels of impact. My ability, at this current time, I'm not able to speak to those direct protocols, but I do know that, and I'm confident in that Dr. Rihanna Neely is someone who is very much committed to the proper environmental standards and process. I think it's also to be clear from the government perspective that whatever the benefits of SpaceX may be to the Bahamas, that's not going to come at the expense of our environment and the safety of Bahamians. And so it's not worth it for us to compromise on those two factors. Obviously, whilst this may be an exciting time for innovation and space expansion, that's not going to be at the detriment to anything that's going to harm Bahamians. Obviously, we are open to doing exciting things in the Bahamas, but we want to do it the right way. So I have some level of confidence that this is going to be done thoroughly. What I think, and I've spoken to the Attorney General this morning, and he presented to me the need for us to move very quickly and making all of the relevant stakeholders available to the public to really interrogate this, for the Bahamian people to interrogate this to their benefits and interests.
Yeah. So one final question, back to what I asked earlier about more information, especially on the financial benefits. Is there a timeline when we would be able to get that information?
So what I can do, I don't know why the decision has not been made to make that reveal as yet. What I can do, and this could be done through the Guardian and from the newspaper side of things, to see if I could get some response from the government on that. I don't know why that information has not been made available as yet, but I will look into that question, Dwight.
Okay, all right. Latrey Ramming, Director of Communications with the Office of the Prime Minister, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it this morning. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. All right, so let's get these questions, these text messages in before we go to the break. This text just says, SpaceX just bombed the Bahamas with space junk. Oh, boy. And yikes, and it's getting worse. The rest of it is bad. This text says here, one, our Falcon 9 program saved SpaceX plenty of money so that they could do much more of these other types of rockets. Number two, did we issue a maritime alert? Mouth can say anything. What do you do when you're on a boat in the southern Bahamas and you're told debris is falling from the sky? Is an umbrella sufficient? Oh, boy. I would like to see DEP's guidance on what boaters are supposed to do when they receive this alert. That's a good question. That's a good question there, boy. The debris field from Starship covers 80% of the Bahamas. Abort this deal and take your losses. I don't know where you got that number from, but I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of it scattered about the place, indeed, especially the southern Bahamas. This person says, don't we think it's hypocritical as a country to cry about carbon emissions and then support rocket launches? Wow. Yep, read that already. This is boy. Some folks are really letting it fly today with the text messages. This is quite a lot. What correlation does Falcon 9 have with air traffic control in the Bahamas, and do they communicate? Of course they do. Considering the safety of flights in the Bahamas, of course, that definitely happened. In fact, last night people were saying that they couldn't take off because flights were paused as a result of all this here in the Bahamas and in Florida. So yeah. That sonic boom that shakes the ground and structures with each landing will weaken buildings and maritime life over time. Really now. Did this money-hungry government consider those facts? I'm not sure if you're right about that, Texter. I'm not sure if that is accurate. Lightning does that too. Lightning and thunder can shake your stuff. So I'm not, I don't know. I know it was jarring. It was a lot.
Yeah,
It was weird. It was bizarre.
Unexpected.
And if you didn't know what it was,
Yeah,
I think
it
next
was
time if
frightening,
you are
right.
told, hey, after 6 o'clock there may be that sonic boom thing, you'll be better prepared for it. But, okay, weaken buildings over time. Well, maybe if they were all happening at one
'Cause I heard
time.
some people said that their houses did shake.
Yeah, well, they certainly did, but still. This person says, my recommendation is to have a designated day to launch, but let citizens know ahead of time. That happened with the last one. We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough education.
No, we didn't know that you might experience some of the things we did.
Things that we did, right? Yeah.
I don't mind SpaceX blowing things up or debris falling tomorrow, Saturday, March 8th. They can have that entire day to do that. What?
It's a woman hater.
Oh, man. Really? That is from the one we've labeled misogyny.
Ah, wow.
You really...
Poor
seriously.
thing.
We know plenty of therapists, and clearly you don't want a female therapist.
Yeah.
But we know plenty who can help you. You need to get help.
I wonder who
Man.
has...
Let's not even. Oh. Oh, my God. Let's go to the break.
Insane.
You know how warped you have to be to say
I
something
know,
like
right?
that? What is... Seriously?
Yeah. Guess what? I don't even take him
Does he
seriously.
have
I
a
just think
mother?
he does it to try to get under our skins.
You think so?
I don't think he's real.
He's
I
very
think
effective.
Fake.
Very effective. Maybe it's a bot. Do they have text bots?
He's hilarious. That's what he is.
Man. A reminder, especially for you, misogyny, why don't you get today's NASA Guardian, the International Women's Day
Yes.
supplement is in the paper today. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Am I sitting in a tin can? Far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do.
Heed the call to action against abuse and violence and for hope and healing. Join Women Walk 2025, Saturday, March 8th at 9 a.m., Clifford Park. Come, walk, pray, wear purple or white. Stand up for a strong, healthy community. A free event, Saturday, March 8th at 9 a.m.
Pinder is carrying a new line of tile, the Sky series of porcelain. Comes in 4 colors, Sky Noir, Sky Azure, Sky Gris, and this one, Sky Glance. In this particular tile, I think you'll find coin gray, silver gray, cloud gray, and gray. All of these are seamlessly blended to make the Sky Glance one beautiful tile. The Sky series of porcelain comes in 2 formats, 24 by 24 at $5.30 a square foot and 12 by 24 at $5.25 a square foot.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Bahamas, are you ready? The world is coming to Wasan for the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer World Cup qualifiers. March 11 through 16 at the Beach Soccer Stadium next to the Sydney Poitier Bridge. The Jungle Beach Boys, top 5 in CONCACAF, taking on Mexico, USA, and El Salvador. Beach party meets world-class soccer, non-stop action, jungle rhythms, great food, and pure vibes. And it's free. Bring your crew, ring your cowbells, beat your drums, no whistles. March 11 through 16 at the Beach Soccer Stadium. Visit BahamasFA.net for details. Bahamas Beach Soccer, pure vibes.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, and you'll surely find colour in every day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend. And it's time for your final look at weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. Here is what's happening as we head into the weekend. We've got a prominent high-pressure system that's going to emerge off the southeastern U.S., gradually sinking southwards across the Bahamas. And a dry air mass accompanying this system will bring some quieter conditions and very limited chance for showers with seasonally cooler temperatures anticipated for tonight before the days warm up quite a bit, especially heading into Sunday. That dry air mass is going to be nestled across the country throughout the weekend. Temperatures warming up, as we said, but another cold front and its prefrontal trough is going to move into the U.S., move off the U.S. coast by Monday into the Bahamas, and then quickly move out of the area by Tuesday. And that's going to bring some strong winds, storm force winds even, impacting most of the country. And by midweek, another high-pressure system will dominate weather across the area for the rest of the week. So a lot of ups and downs expected over the next few days. There remains a moderate to high risk of rip currents and rough surf impacting Atlantic exposures. Beachgoers and swimmers urged to remain onshore in these areas. For today, though, sunny, turning fair tonight, less than a 10% chance of showers. Look for highs around 79, 80 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a cool 55 to 57 Fahrenheit, about 13, 14 Celsius. For most areas, even cooler for the northern islands like Grand Bahama and Abaco, in the low 50s tonight. But changes coming for tomorrow. Mostly sunny, turning fair at night, and high, very warm temperatures for this early part of March. Highs in the mid-80s. For Sunday, we're expecting highs near 85, 86 for Monday as the sunny conditions continue. But by Monday, with that front moving through, expect some changes. Partly sunny, becoming increasingly cloudy throughout the day in the northern and northwest Bahamas. Mostly sunny, turning mostly fair at night across the remainder of the islands. That's all ahead. Don't forget to spring forward this weekend. We return to daylight saving time, Sunday at 2 a.m. Set your clocks forward an hour, perhaps, before you go to bed on Saturday night. That's your Morning Blend Weather Check. Weather Check also brought to you by the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships at Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Stadium at the foot of the Sydney Poitier Bridge, March 11th through 16th. Watch the Bahamas team, the Junkanoo Boys, take on teams from Panama and the U.S. and more. It's free to attend. Come out and support Team Bahamas, the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships. And we've got your final look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In your real-time traffic, still seeing that heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway, but it is getting better for you. You're going to see that now just midway between Fire Trail and Tawny Williams Darling Highway. So the closer you get to Harold Ponds, where you'll meet that traffic ahead of you heading northbound. Still issues at the six-legged roundabout, though. Heavy northbound traffic, Milo Butler Highway. Heavy southbound on New Providence Highway, and heavy eastbound on John F. Kennedy Drive. Over on Gladstone Road, definitely looking better for you just as you get north of Bunnings Road, where we see that line of traffic in front of you on your way to the Bahamar Road, Bahamar Boulevard, John F. Kennedy Drive roundabout. West Bay Street, still issues on Saunders Beach if you're heading eastbound near New Providence Highway, and then once you get east of that area on the way to Arawak Key, heavy traffic for you this morning. The closer you get to Nassau Street, both directions, as you get into downtown Nassau. Bay Street looking busy for you as well. Things improving in eastern New Providence, except for when you get to Prince Charles and Soldier Road into Robinson Road. That area looking congested. Still heavy traffic on Robinson westbound to Marathon East-West Highway. North and south of the Soldier Road intersection with East Street, you're going to be seeing some heavy traffic there as well. And Independence Drive backed up in both directions, east and westbound. Blue Hill Road still heavy traffic for you, mainly northbound all the way up to Cordo Avenue. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean on this Friday. And it is time for our monthly series. Each first Friday of the month, we look at issues facing people with disabilities in our country. And for this, our special co-host is Dario Charlton, and he's here. Good to see you again, Dario. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning, Bahamas. Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
So this is going to be a special one today, as we're going to meet a very talented young man who is making quite a name for himself. Dario, you want to do the introductions?
Yes. So excited. You know, today is a very exciting day. Today we have in studio with us an excellent young man by the name of Seth Brown, a 14-year-old junior high school student who has been doing some extraordinary things, and he is accompanied by his mom today, Sherelle Brown. Today we really want to celebrate, today we want to celebrate perseverance. We want to be able to celebrate resilience. We want to celebrate the ability to show off talents that in one arena some may think is a disadvantage, but Seth is a shining example that it certainly is a gift from God.
Yeah. Wow. Wonderful. Welcome, Sherelle. Welcome, Seth. Great to have you with us. Sherelle, I want to begin with you. So you tell us what makes Seth so remarkable.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here in studio with you all. So thank you so much for having Seth and myself. That's a loaded question. What makes Seth remarkable? So, you know, the first thoughts would think about his attributes, but that's really not, his capabilities is not what makes him remarkable. I think what makes him remarkable is that he's true to himself. He's very authentic. And I say that because I've seen him in different platforms and different spheres, and he's not been anything but himself. So I thank God for the gift of who he is, and that the world is now recognizing what he can offer.
Amazing.
But that is the uniqueness of who he is. He doesn't change. So what you see is what you're going to get.
It's big.
All right. So officially, what was diagnosed? What are we dealing with?
Okay, so let me give you a little backstory about Seth. So Seth was, his father and myself are born and raised in Nassau. Okay. I'm a former police officer, about 15 years. Oh, wow. And during my tenure in about 2009, I was transferred to the Abacos. And then a short time later, I found out I was with child, and that child was Seth. And so we would come back and forth to Nassau for, prenatals. And long story short, we had Seth. And he attended a school in Abaco called Change Ministries Preparatory School. Excellent service, excellent care, nursery, K1, K2, fabulous teachers, Miss Kizzy, Miss Julie. They all handled him well. Then he got to K3, and a teacher was like, I don't know if I could deal with this. And she gives me a call, and she says, he's not sitting still. He's pacing the classroom. I said, is he disturbing the students? Is he bothering anybody? She's like, no. But, they're required to sit to do their work. I said, okay, is he doing his work? She said, yes. I said, how is his grades? Great. He's a straight A student. Oh, wow. So what is the problem again? Right. What are we talking about? And so fast forward, the end of the term comes, I get a call from the senior mistress or principal at that time saying, we need you to come in, for a consultation. And I go, and there's about 3 ladies around the table with myself, and they're pretty much telling me that I don't think our school is a good fit for your son, and that you may need to get him evaluated. And so, of course, I was heartbroken. I was sharing with Dario, as mothers or parents, no one wants to hear that there may be something wrong with your child. He is the oldest of 4 children, so this would be the first time, my first rodeo. Yeah. And I'm like, what is their problem? But, I would have told people in the past, when someone says, look, I can't deal with your child, it's not rejection. It's them saying they don't lack the skills that are needed to facilitate their needs. So initially, it took me on an emotional roller coaster of rejection, of shame. As you can imagine, as a parent, I went through so many emotions. And then I had to ground myself like, look, girl, get a grip. this is still your child. This is the gift that God has assigned you and your husband. So do what is needed to be done. In the Abacos at that time, there was only one school that facilitated. First of all, it's a family island.
Right.
So we already know the challenges we face on family islands. And so there was only one school that facilitated children that had special needs. And of course, this is a wide spectrum.
Very much so.
And that school is called Every Child Counts ECC. Long story short, for him to even get an ECC, it was another process. We had to bring him to Nassau, neurology, doctor, psychology, evaluations, occupational therapy, speech therapy. He had to go through the whole gamut. And so at the time I was a police officer, thank you, Jesus, because I had some good insurance. And so we ran through the process, still expensive, with insurance. So imagine the parents who are not, so fortunate. And long story short, it was at that time Dr. Demerit said, listen, your son falls on the autism disorder spectrum. And then he explains to me what that was. And
Were you thinking that before he said that? Or did you think maybe it was just ADHD or something? Or?
So this is early 2000s. We didn't do a good job of education in our society. The thought had never entered my head about autism, ADHD, any of it. Initially, it took me a while to get over the emotional side of it because it was just, there's nothing wrong with my child. So you go through a phase of denial. He's just young. Grammy say some children talk late, some children walk late. So I'm hoping this is that situation of a misdiagnosis or misassessment. He just needed some more time. Well, that was not the case. So after Dr. Demerit said that, listen, your son falls on this spectrum, then I'm spiritual. I'm like, I rebuke you in my head. I hear you, but I rebuke you. That's most people.
Right. That's us.
I'm a very real girl, and I'm just taking people on the journey. And so I heard what he said, and then he said that you may need to consider medication and, a lot of things. And I looked at my son, I looked at my husband, and I said, we're not doing that. I said, we're not going to medicate him. I said, I'm going to pray. I'm going to go through the processes and we're going to see where this journey takes us. And that's what we did. So I had to go through all of that to be able to get him into ECC in Abaco so that they would now be able to assess and see, who would be best to deal with him. And then a teacher named Miss Summer took him on. And then the journey began.
Now, my goodness.
I know that was a lot.
No.
It was really great. Good to hear all of that.
Yeah. That's his backstory. That's what got us here at this point.
All right. So,
Genesis.
This is amazing because he is an amazing speller.
Yeah.
And so, Seth, we want to hear from you about spelling and why you like spelling and how you got into this. Tell us that story, Seth. Take a deep breath. Yeah, let's go. Why do you like spelling?
Because my teacher told me.
Gotta speak a little bit louder for us.
Come on.
Sorry. I was just got a little shy.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have to be shy with us.
So tell us.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I was a kid, I didn't talk for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. And that's why I was felt in my voice. My teachers from 2010 from 2025. So, you see that I was born in Abaco. And forget it. Well, I was born in Abaco, and my mom told me about basic days, and all of my two sisters, and my baby brother, and also even my dad.
So what were you doing? Reading a lot? Were you just studying the words and just soaking it all in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what types of things did you like to read, or do you like to read?
Okay, British words.
Okay.
Yeah. I see you got some cars here. I'm a big car lover as well. Tell us about this. Why did you bring them here today?
Actually, this one I got from my Auntie Kendra's house.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the other one?
Actually, I got that one from my Auntie Therese.
Okay. All right. Good
So
stuff.
Seth, you like cars? Big cars, little cars, fast cars?
Although I found them from yesterday. I was usually a car or junk collector by that. We
nice.
moved to every house in all of. We moved to every house in all of Nassau.
Yeah. I understand it.
Okay.
All right. So, which spelling bee did you win that's going to cause you to be in the National Spelling Bee Championship coming up soon?
Actually, I just won both.
Yeah. What are the names? What are the names? What are the names of those spelling bees? You remember the names?
Regionals and districts.
Okay.
Oh,
this
wow.
is which this is Abaco or?
No, this is here.
This is here. Okay.
Now
Okay.
attends AF.
Yeah.
Just get you into that mic there, sure.
I apologize.
No problem. No problem.
So Seth currently attends AF Adelaide
Okay,
Junior
AF
High
Adelaide.
School.
Okay.
He's in grade 8 in the pre-vocational unit, and he would have competed January 16th.
Okay.
And the irony is that's my daughter's birthday. So on January 16th, he would have competed, but technically he wasn't slated to be competing.
Oh.
So how AF Adelaide does it is, it was during the season of sports day and era, and so they select the top spellers per house. All of us went to high school. We know how that works.
Right.
Okay.
Inter-house. And Seth was a sub.
Okay.
He was not even slated to be participating.
Okay.
And so, just 2 minutes to take you back is that his teacher, Miss Archer, who's his coach, identified that he had a gift of spelling. He likes reading. He excels in literature, language, straight A student. He's actually on the principal's list at AF Adelaide.
That is
So
amazing.
that he loves to read. And she sends me a message and she says, "Hey, I identified that this boy is exceptional in this area. What do you think about him joining the spelling bee club?" I said, okay. She gave me the information, the days and times, and I said, okay, let's do it. And he joins the spelling bee club late September, October. Then November, she says, you know what, we have a competition coming up. Here's a list of some words. Let him go over them, get familiar with them. And she gave me the list. And Seth lost the list just before school closed. And I requested the list again, but communication issues happened, and we didn't get the list until January.
Oh.
This happened to be the list of the spelling bee words.
Right.
So I'm not sweating it because I'm not saying my son is competing.
Right.
He's just in the spelling bee club, something to help, pass the time for enjoyment for what he does. Then I find out that the spelling bee competition is January 16th, and he is a sub. I'm like, okay. So we had 2 weeks with the list to prepare, and we did our best. And we showed up, and Seth showed out. And he missed not a word, not a meaning, and he won regionals. Bear in mind, he was not even supposed to be participating.
Right.
The lead speller, didn't show. And by the time that they started, and so now he, as the sub, was put into place.
Right.
God's plan.
Wow.
Yes,
meant to be.
definitely.
Meant to be.
Wow.
Wow. All right. So, how does it feel to be up on the stage spelling words, Seth? Do you get nervous? Do you, how do you feel about it, or you just you got this? So I guess you're not worried. How do you feel?
Anything like fine.
You're fine.
Yeah. That's confidence at its
That's
best.
a lot of confidence.
Well, actually, I got this.
There you go. So when is the overall championship?
So the National Spelling Bee is slated for March 16th, which is next Sunday.
Okay.
At 2 p.m. at Breezer's Super Club. So Seth, along with 23 others, there are 24 spellers representing the Bahamas from the length and breadth of Abaco, Grand Bahama, Exuma. So he, with public and private schools, are going to mount a stage and they're going to showcase their skills. And this is history. This is history in the making. He's already making history as being, classified as autistic, and he's arrived to this level. To our knowledge, there's no other autistic student who has done this before. So he is paving the way and opening doors and mindsets for our society to take the limits off of children that the world classifies as special.
Yes.
Absolutely. Wow. All right. So we got a call coming in, and we have so many other questions for Seth. Dario has some words he wants to spell too. So let's see. But let's get this call in. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your listening audience. This
Good
is
morning,
Kendrick
Kendrick.
Roll, Deputy Chairman of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Hey, Kendrick.
I am calling to publicly once again congratulate my boy Seth and him know he's going to knock it out of the park, like he said, I got this. And I just want to, to encourage him and tell him study hard, but at the same time relax. And I intend to be there along with other members of the National Commission to cheer him on when he brings home that trophy.
Awesome.
Wonderful stuff, Kendrick.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much.
Awesome.
Oh, good morning, my buddy Dario Jalton.
Number one fan.
I was his mentor. Dario, you talked about the small business initiative we did yesterday at the UB, correct?
Today is about Seth, but I'm happy to share with that as well.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll do that one next week. How about
I
that?
don't get a chance to call in, so I'm going to give all my accolades.
Get it out.
We'll get you both on to talk about that one. How about that in a few weeks?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Excellent.
But, like you say, it's all about Seth. So, Seth, you go, guy, and, we'll be there cheering for you. Congratulations. And your mom is your number one fan and champion. My phone always blowing up, so she working. And I am doing what I'm supposed to do on my end.
Catch your pom-poms, Kendrick.
Excellent stuff.
Mom, the ladies, man. I got the cowbells and the drums.
Okay, I got you.
You all do
Thanks a
well
lot.
and stay well.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to take that other call really quickly before we get to the... Yes, let's do that. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. And good morning to your panel.
Good morning.
I'm calling and I'm intrigued by this story about Seth and being autistic. I would like to ask his mother, she knows the name of Dr. Charlene Smith.
No, I don't know the name of Dr. Charlene Smith. The doctor that assessed Seth at that time was Dr. Demerit.
Dr. Charlene Smith is a Bahamian. Her and her husband, Dr. Stanley Smith, has an autistic child named Sarah, and they live in New Jersey. They both are lecturers. She specializes in autistics. I think I would like to try and get you all in contact with her because I think she would be elated.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
All
I
right.
guess you can reach out to the necessary
Yeah,
person.
maybe you can leave the number or leave your
Yes.
information with the producer, and then we can get that information. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the referral.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Seth, you feel like spelling some words for us today? Yeah. You ready? Yeah. Dario, you wanna throw some words out at
Yes.
Seth?
Yes. So Seth, we know that you've accomplished a lot. So I wanted your first word to be very fitting to something that describes you. You're a champion. So spell for us the word champion.
Don't do that. Spell Joe, he's animated. Spell your word.
Oh,
Excellent.
doing voices.
Excellent. Another
Bless
word.
you.
Bless you. Another word that describes your journey is determination. So spell for us the word determination.
DEARMDETRMINATION.
Great job.
Excellent stuff.
I'm going to give you one more word that I really think is very fitting for your journey, and that word is resilience. I know you've lived in a few different locations on Abaco and Nassau and spent some time in the U.S., and it really speaks to your resilience. So spell for us the word resilience.
RESILIENCE.
Great job.
Awesome.
All right, Seth. You're going to be doing those special voices on the big match.
I haven't used those for comedy.
All right.
I told you, authentic.
That's
What you see is what you get. They didn't say what voice he needs to spell it in once he spells it correctly.
And based on my history of spelling bees, he's going to have the most personality.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be an
I can tell
entertaining
you,
spelling bee. We're going to all be watching that one. So, Sherelle, I got to ask you. So, the future, especially in this country, it's challenging. It's challenging to have any special needs child. But when he's 14 now, it's going to be 24 before you know it, right?
Who you telling?
How are you feeling about the future?
Okay, that's again another loaded question. I have to look at it in two perspectives. I look at it as him as an individual, and then me as a parent. As an individual, Seth will flourish in a community or an environment that makes space for him. As a mother, my job
Is the Bahamas that place? Do we do that?
You want me to get in trouble, Dwight?
I want you to be truthful.
Okay, so I'll
Tell
be
me
truthful.
honest.
The answer is no. I have had some hard experiences as a mother of a child who's classified as a special needs child. I've sat in salons and I watch people watch my child. Like, why doesn't make him sit down? Why does he need to behave? Why is he screaming? Why is he acting like that? My son does not have a look. Difference, disability, whatever classification or verbiage that is now society correct does not have a look. You know, they're now saying silent disabilities, meaning there are things that are going on with people that you cannot see by looking at the exterior. So, you know, back in the day, you would have looked at a child and say, you know, this is not correct in any form or manner. But they would say, oh, that child is slow. Oh, he's different. And so now through advocacy, through places like, you know, persons with disability and other communities, they're championing for voice. Listen, we have to understand that these persons are different and they are here. And so we have to make space for them in work environments, in public environments, and we have to give grace. If someone doesn't look or fit the norm. And so, you know, Seth can go in an environment and no one would know that, okay, he might have some challenges unless he starts, you know, doing one or two little things. But you can't look at him and say, hey, this boy is autistic. You'd have to observe him for a while and then realize, you know, something may not be quite right. And so as a society, I challenge any government to get it together. You know, we spent many years building ramps for persons in wheelchairs, and then we built a school for persons who may be sight impaired to ensure that they have Braille. But now we're looking at ADHD and autism, and these things are saying there are mental challenges, but challenges does not mean inability.
Correct.
It does not mean that they cannot do, achieve, or accomplish, or even contribute to this society. It means that we now have to have a system in place that can assess them as individuals, see where their gifting, talent, skills, and abilities, and figure out how we can plug them in this society so they can be independent, contributing, whole people. That is my thing. That is, listen, any government that puts a panel together, I will be there. As a mother, it is our job to champion the cause for who they are individually and for the other children who are going to come behind them. The reality is I'm going to die one day. His father's going to die one day. And a fear of many parents is what is going to happen to my child. Even though the world won't recognize them as children anymore, they will be adults, he'll be legally off age. But is he capable or will he be capable of taking care of himself? Or is there a system that he knows I get up in the morning, this is my job that I go to. I come home. My house is set up for me to manage my home. I can cook safely, bathe safely, you know? And so because I, as a mother in 2025, cannot rely on a government to do that, I now have to do that. My husband and I have to be forethinkers and say, okay, so we're self-employed people. I'm a self-employed woman. My business is Distinction Publishing House. And as a business owner, I make space for my son. And so my, lane is books, and he's a reader. So I'm going to teach him a skill that he can apply. He's also gifted in piano. He plays the piano. And so I often tell people he's not going to be a lawyer. I said, but if you need someone to play at your wedding, he's going to be right there. We're going to create a package deal. I'm going to MC and he's going to play. You're going to have entertainment. And so that's what we have to now do. Identify the giftings in these individuals. In this case, we're talking with Seth. We know he's an excellent speller, so editing may be in his future. We know that he plays the piano. Entertainment may be in his future. And so he's not going to be a doctor. He's not going to be a lawyer. But let's ensure that these industries have an opening that even mandated by law, because diversity is a real thing. People are looking at diversity in the colorful way. Forget that. What are we doing to ensure that when Seth is 18, that there is a government regulated facility or a law in place to ensure that you are to employ 1 or 2 or 5 disabled persons or differently abled persons in your company.
Well,
You
it
know?
is kind of the law, but are people enforcing that?
Yes.
Are we doing it, right?
So we can throw that back to Dario. He may be able to give us an insight if it's 1, currently law, and 2, is there checks and balances? Our
Right.
society lacks checks and
does.
balances.
Absolutely.
Right now, finance, Inland Revenue is making sure you have your business license. They're calling, they're checking, they're sending people on the ground. If your house is $300,000, they have persons checking. This is just a house, it's not an Airbnb. We check in for the money areas.
Right.
This doesn't bring money into our country, but we got to facilitate those who are in our country, and the fact that it is a growing number.
Yeah.
Now, whether scientific base is causing what we're now seeing or not, we don't know. But until we figure the solution out, we got to handle the problem.
Oh man, Sherelle's preaching in here
Yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah.
This is
She
amazing.
certainly is.
Thank you so much
She
for that.
certainly is.
Thank you.
That needed to be said.
Yeah.
That needed to be
And
said.
as a note, there are laws in place for people from our community to be employed in a certain manner that we'd hope increases over the years. But like all things in our country and developing nations, there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
So areas of opportunity.
Who's doing the work, Dario? I'm sorry. I like that he's being politically correct. Thank you. I'm so glad that I don't wear a hat.
Yes.
Right.
I don't have a title, an entity, or an organization that I have to be mindful of. So I'm
could speak.
glad that you're being politically correct. But this is just the mother sitting here today.
We had one of those advocates called Kendrick, works with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, and they are charged with that mandate. People
But
like
we need
myself,
employers to step up.
We do.
To be,
We do.
come on, be the corporate citizens you're supposed to be.
We certainly do. Because the definition of what it means to be disabled in our country is so broad and worldwide, it's very easy for an employer to say, I have a disabled personality.
Already.
Because disease like diabetes would have someone earmarked as disabled. And so you can imagine with such a large percentage of our population being diabetics, I can assure you that the Atlantis probably has at least
Hundreds.
3,000 diabetics working there. And please don't hold me to that number, but I'm just saying. And so, they'll find loopholes to where there is a definitive number that can be set. Possibly something that we get back to in another show. Like I said, today is set stay.
Right.
But we'll continue. I definitely have always been an advocate for persons with disabilities, and I'll continue my advocacy for many years to come. I promise.
That's excellent.
And I think too that we are calling on business people and the government to step in and to assist in some regard, but we also need the general public at large to have more tolerance and understanding in certain situations and not be so judgmental when they see a child that may be different from another child, or just being accepting that there are roles that special needs people can fill, and that there's nothing wrong with that as long as they have the skill set to do that. So it definitely needs everybody to partner in this initiative.
I just want to touch on what you said at the ending part. That was an excellent commentary. You said, as long as they have the skill set, they're not taking the time to discover the skill set.
Right.
Now, many may argue that is not the government's role. As a mother, I can say the same thing. As a mother, my job is to identify the gifting. I am his human resource manager. A human resource manager just means you manage the human resource underneath you.
Right.
So as his HR manager, i.e. his mom, I am to identify the skills in this child and then look for the outlets to help further develop them.
Absolutely.
I think, first of all, that is our foundation, and that's where many parents are lacking. The minute a mother or father gets the statement that your child is quote-unquote autistic, ADHD, whatever other classifications out there, yes, they go through emotions. Like I told Dario earlier, it feels like the 7 stages of grief, But you have to come to a landing space where you realize this child is not going anywhere. My husband and I had to come to a conclusion that, okay, he's 3 today, he's 4 today, but tomorrow he's 24.
Right.
What's going to happen? people tolerate them when they are younger.
Right.
Crying, screaming, having a little tantrum. When they are 3 and 4, but 24, 34, they look at you sideways. Some of them verbally say, like, what you doing? Or deal with that. And so once you, as the parent, identify your gift, I challenge you now to go and find outlets.
That's right.
To cultivate that gift. But that's the parent's responsibility.
Absolutely.
As our government in this society now, I'm sitting here saying Seth is excellent in academics. So I'm believing God for a scholarship for him out of all of this and nothing else, right? But he's also gifted in piano.
Right.
Is there a directory somewhere listed that says these are the entities that hire disabled or different able challenged persons? Is there some way I can readily go and Google and say, hey, Seth has finished with high school. This is his report card. This is the skills that he's. Where do I go?
Yeah.
I'm like everybody else in the government looking at jobs.com and the Tribune and saying who's hiring and have to knock on a door until somebody decides to say yes. No one is, forced or in a situation that they're incumbent to say yes. And the last part I want to add to what you said was, one's identifying the skills. I don't know if there's room for Seth at BTVI. I don't know if there's a secondary or tertiary level education facility in this society for children, and they wouldn't be children, adults with special needs. Is there a trade environment that he can go into? Their teachers understand and are able and trained to teach him a secondary skill so he can now come in Guardian Radio and have a job. And so this is what we're dealing with. So identifying skill sets is one thing as a parent. Developing those skill sets in his younger age is your responsibility, and it's not a cheap one. I can tell you firsthand. And then when he becomes an adult, he is of the mindset that he can have a job. Who's going to hire him? So we are looking at three different phases that need to be developed in this society today.
Definitely more conversation in the future, Dwight.
Sherelle, you are something else.
Yes,
Seth
you
is an
are.
exceptional young man, and clearly he has some fantastic parents.
Yes.
Super duper mom.
Yes.
We need to have you back.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Definitely.
certainly
You are
certainly do.
quite an advocate.
Yeah.
But this is inspiring.
Yes, it is.
Definitely.
We need to dig a little deeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hopefully at the end of this, what happens when he wins nationals?
Right.
He goes on March 16th and he may do what he did for the last 2 times.
Right.
Win. Then he goes to the United States to
Right.
represent this Bahamas, this government, this country. But what support is in place for him when he comes back home?
Yeah.
God willing, what if he wins? Scripps in the U.S. Our queen, went placed 10th place, came back to the Bahamas, and there was very little things in place, to reward her hard work. I told someone, I said, I feel like my son is in a David season. We've been on the back of the mountain for years. What the world is seeing today is not something that Seth has just started doing. He's been spelling from he started talking. He's went to, in Nassau, he went to Garvin Tynes. He had 2 wonderful teachers, Miss Bodie and Mr. Flores. He had his own listing. They would create in the autism unit at Garvin Tynes. And I thank God for the persons that were there in the season that he was there. And they didn't just stick to the requirements, the cookie cutter. Okay, this is what you give him the day, this is what you give him tomorrow. No, when they realized that Seth Brown was above average, they started giving him work to test those skills. Because you know what happens? He gets bored.
Yes. Absolutely.
And you know what happens when a child gets bored? Even when a quote-unquote regular child gets, they start being mischievous. He's looking at the wall and playing with the ball. He's not listening to you.
To be challenged.
So now he's an AF athlete, again, with teachers who are identifying the gifting, but they have a structure that they must follow, which is why I'm advocating for a scholarship for him so that he would be in an environment that deal with him as an individual, assess him where he is, meet him where he is, and help advance him. If someone tests his IQ right now, it may be above all of ours. And he has been tested in the United States of America, and they told me you will never have a problem with this boy academically. He is a genius. This is what was stated to me. She said, however, the only reason he isn't in mainstream now is he doesn't fit the societal norm of behavioral. He's sitting here, y'all are seeing, but that does not speak to his intellect. He's moving, he's fidgeting, he's doing all of those things, but yet this is our champion.
Yes, yes.
All right.
My eyes are getting watery.
You know,
we're expecting great things.
Yes, we are.
Great things
Yes.
from Seth. Keep us posted.
Yeah.
Definitely, we gotta have you back.
Yeah.
Running out of time here. Dario, your final words.
Listen, Ms. Brown touched on so many things that I would have otherwise charged society to do. She is exemplary as a mother and speaks to what every parent of a child with special needs should do, and that's to explore that child's talent and allow them to be free to understand how this world will work for them. We as a society have to do our part. We think that having a former prime minister whose son was autistic, that certain advancements in society would be there, but we are happy that, a child like Seth is going to blow things out of the water and really show people that there are limitless opportunities for children like him. And I'm excited about what he is going to accomplish, his achievements thus far. And you know what? Maybe I'll be fighting to be your number one fan.
You have to be Kendrick.
It's going to be a long line.
Kendrick is coming with cowbells. I'll have the pom-poms.
It's going to be a long line rooting for Seth.
Amazing young man.
Yeah, we got to get Seth to school now, right?
Well, I think his school knows where he is.
Yeah.
They're just proud that he's representing.
Seth, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Yes.
We
Yes.
are, again, wishing big, wonderful things for you at the Spelling Bee and beyond. And we know you're going to do fantastic stuff. Hopefully, we'll have you back again. And Sherelle Brown, wonderful meeting you.
We'll bring the trophy next
Wonderful
time.
meeting. Yeah, hey, that's a plan there. Dario, Charlton, always a pleasure. I'll see you in a few weeks. And we're going to take a break, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seth.
Awesome.
Seth,
Awesome.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to be back with business in just a bit. Stay with us.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from Admiral Mike Rogers, former head of U.S. Cyber Command, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner. With increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools, take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
Are you ready to indulge in the islands off the Bahamas? Take off to TCI, hop over to Havana, or fly to Florida. No matter the destination, jumpstart your journey with Bahamas Air, the national flight carrier of the Bahamas. Take advantage of our frequent flyer program and exclusive hotel and car deals. Book your flight now at bahamasair.com or visit your local ticket sales office in Nassau or Grand Bahama. Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, March 7th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean on this Friday. And this morning, we are very pleased to have
Timothy
with us from the Bahamas Development Bank and from EV Motors. We've got from B. Alicia Butler, the manager of the credit division. And we have sales expert with EV Motors, Timothy Daxon. Good morning to both of you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Welcome.
Alicia?
Good morning. Thank you for having us. Morning, Dwight.
Good morning. Good morning.
Everybody.
Great to have you with us. All right, so this is an exciting promotion you have going on. Let people know exactly what's going on for commercial users of businesses who are seeking to make a big change here.
Absolutely. So we are so excited to be partnering with EV Motors. The bank in and of itself is really proud to introduce 100% financing opportunities for businesses looking to transition to EVs, electric vehicles. So this is a huge initiative for us and EV Motors, and it's actually designed for support to sustainable, designed to support sustainability, to reduce operational costs and improve energy efficiency across industries.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. This isn't a new program for the Development Bank. This initiative started a little over 3 years ago. However, we have these new partnerships, and so we are very excited to really bring this initiative into 2025 with our partners for businesses out there who are looking to really move away from gas vehicles to vehicles that are a little bit more sustainable.
Yeah.
So again, we're very excited to be here. We're very excited to reintroduce this initiative to the public out there.
Yeah. So we know it's great for the environment, but you mentioned the cost savings. Do you have any indication as to how much a business could save by going the EV route?
So what we're looking at here is businesses have a little bit more flexibility In terms of interest rate, with this particular initiative, there are no down payments. So we're really looking at preserving cash flow here. So the interest rates are competitive as opposed to getting a regular consumer loan for a vehicle. The interest rates are not normally that flexible. Reduction of operating cost. So you're looking at lower fuel cost, maintenance cost, compared to traditional vehicles. And so, when you're looking at saving money, you're also looking at sustainability impact. And these things are critical when we're looking at moving away from traditional vehicles to electric vehicles.
What would be the prerequisites for a business to avail themselves of this opportunity?
Right. So businesses operate very different from what would be consumer lending. So banks would the development bank typically look for financials. For existing businesses, we look at a business plan just to get an idea of your business model. We're looking at historical financials for startup businesses. We're looking at projected financials. And so there are some variations. What we've seen with this particular initiative is persons who are looking to upgrade their fleets in the tourism space, the livery plate drivers, the taxi cab drivers, businesses that are in the construction industry that are looking for equipment that are really, that works for movement of heavy material, large equipments that you can carry on the back of a truck. And so we're looking for quotes, we're looking for business plans, we're looking for historical financials, projected financials, business license, quotes on the vehicles, insurance quote for the vehicles. So we're looking for things like that basic information that businesses should have readily available for finance.
Okay. And any type of business, could it be commercial, nonprofit? Are there any restrictions on the type of business that can apply?
Well, I think there are restrictions on nonprofit businesses. They're not actually classified as businesses or classified as organizations. And so you'd have to look at their documentation to see if they are in a position to borrow. But all businesses can apply to this initiative for funding.
Yeah, Timothy Daxon, we'll get to you in a second. But Alicia, I just want to know, so you said it's been in place for a few years now. What was the response? What has it been? Have you, like you mentioned, taxi drivers?
So,
you got some taxi drivers going electric?
We actually had 3 manufacturing companies, believe it or not. This was deemed a very successful program. But what we would have seen when we launched this particular initiative about 3 years ago was in the manufacturing space. We've seen applicants coming in, and it's really to move their products. So we were able to secure funding for these particular businesses to purchase a little minivan to move their products back and forth. And so, again, it was an exciting time for the bank then as it is now, and we have some success stories with this particular initiative.
Excellent. And you do see a lot of those driving around the island, so people definitely took advantage of it. All right, so Timothy Daxon, Alicia mentioned heavy-duty stuff there. Are such vehicles on the market, electric heavy-duty vehicles?
There's definitely electric heavy-duty vehicles here at EV Motors. We have the Kari cargo van and the Kari X7 cargo truck. The cargo van carries like 2,100 pounds. The truck carries about 3,000 pounds. You can carry maybe a pallet or 3 in the back of your truck or on the back of your van, And you save like up to $10,000 because we have a last chance clearance sale going on. Stock is moving fast. I always tell people, don't come on the lot and then tell me, I'm going to think about it. Many times people have done that, and then they come on the lot, and it's gone. It's gone. This is your last chance clearance sale. Get your cargo vans, get your cargo trucks.
Yeah. Are you noticing changes? Every time we do a segment on electric vehicles, people have so much so many questions, so reluctant. Are you noticing mindsets shifting now?
I am noticing mindset shifting. People come on the lot and they're like, you know what? I'm tired of paying for not parts, but I'm tired of paying for maintenance, all these extra moving parts in the gas car.
Parts cost a lot.
Yeah. They're tired of paying for gas.
Oh, my goodness.
Yearly for a business, you spend like $80,000 approximately on gas. Electric vehicles, you cut back a lot, a whole lot.
Yeah. So what's the average cost of a van or a cargo truck?
Well, the average cost right now, I could give you a sales price.
Okay.
So the cargo van is going for $29,900. The cargo truck is going for $33,900. Like I said, you save like $10,000 right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Any warranties? What
Full warranty, 5-year warranty or 90,000 miles, whichever one comes first.
Okay.
We have a service station right next to our office. Come and check it out. And in that service station are fully trained and certified electric vehicle specialists. So you have the peace of mind knowing that when we're working on your vehicle, we're making sure that it lasts the full 20 years.
All right. So does it come with the charging station, everything installed? Yeah, all complete.
Comes with the full charging station, free of charge. Now, when it comes to installation, we'll hook you up with our electrician. He's not employed by us, but he's so competent. He hooked up all of our chargers around our lot, so we can trust him to do a good job on you.
Yeah. So what are you hearing from customers who've made the switch? What's the feedback you're getting from them?
What I'm hearing is I'm saving a lot. I'm saving a lot of money. I really they thank me and they say, I'm really glad I spoke to you. You helped me make the shift. And I'm seeing, because you're in business to make money and save money. So now with the shift to electric vehicles, you get to accomplish that.
Okay. And what's the usual turnaround time from application to walking off the lot with your car?
From application to walking off the lot, so you come in, you see your favorite vehicle, we give you a quote. We send the quote to the loan officer. So that cuts down time a whole lot. Financing process, when it comes to the bank, it's like maybe a week.
Okay.
And then when you bring your check, bring your insurance, the latest it takes to drive off with your vehicle is 48 hours, the latest.
Okay.
And that only happened like one or twice.
What about you, Ms. Butler, right?
Yeah.
What's the average turnaround?
It's a little different. Yeah, it's a little different with business financing because there are the documents that are required can sometimes take up to 2-3 weeks to get because businesses rely on other banks for statements, for reference letters. These things are critical for financing. Or even for it to be considered. And so the turnaround time can really vary. It can be up to 30 days. We've seen instances where it took up to 90 days, and that's just pretty much that people are working their businesses and trying to run around to get these documents as well. So, it's no indictment on anyone that the turnaround time could take longer or it can be shorter. Some people have this information readily available. I also want to say that what we have seen is the shift in the attitude towards electric vehicles. When we first started this initiative, there were limited options. And so when you would have gone on the lot, the things that your business actually needed in terms of vehicle was not readily available. We've now seen where there are so many options to choose from that, the excitement is now there to shift the mindset for traditional vehicle users to electric vehicles. So that's actually an exciting time for this. This is actually an exciting time for this initiative because the attitude has changed in terms of, whether or not people are just tossing it up. Am I going to get an EV? They're so limited now to, oh my goodness, I can choose something really nice. I can choose something that works with the type of business that that one may have,
And Timothy, you're not getting any more of these crazy questions about will I get electrocuted if I drive down the street, right? That's changed now, right?
I'd say it's slowed down. There's one or two that maybe they haven't heard already, so they haven't seen us on Instagram or Facebook. But I'm always happy to answer the question.
How long is this last chance sale going on for?
Until supplies last, and we don't have that much supplies left.
And how long is the promotion going for, Alicia Butler?
So again, this is 3 years later, and we intend to continue with this initiative. It is one of the things that we do at Development Bank. We started out with the whole conversation of green climate change. So when we embarked upon this idea, we took that into consideration. So there's no timeline as to when this financing offer is going to end.
Okay.
Yeah. This texture here, both of you will like this. Abaco Neem wants to be the first farm to buy an electric truck on Abaco. So they want some details. If they're interested from both of you, what do they need to do to take advantage of what Bahamas Development Bank is doing and what EV Motors is doing?
Well, on our end at EV Motors, you can send me an email, tim@evmotors.com, with your information, which vehicle you're interested in. I'll send you links to our inventory for the cargo van and the cargo truck, and then we'll send you a quote for as many vehicles as you need, and we'll also send it to the Bahamas Development Bank for you.
Okay. All right. And Alicia, this is open to everybody on different islands, right?
Yes, it sure is. And I think one of the things that we did when we first started this particular program was that a business was subject to just one vehicle. So we've now added to this particular initiative that if you're looking to change your fleet, the opportunity is there for financing. If you want to upgrade more than 2 vehicles, the option as well. So for the business in Abaco, I'm Alicia Butler, 813-1389. Please feel free to call me.
Okay. All right. I think we did this off air. We didn't do it on air. Where is EV Motors?
EV Motors is located on Tonique William Darlings, opposite AF Adderley, right next to Esso gas station. You can't miss us. The cars are right there by the gate.
Okay. All right. Excellent stuff. Great promotion here. Great talking with you all this morning. Alicia Butler with Bahamas Development Bank and Timothy Daxon with EV Motors. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend,
Our
everybody.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. We're going to take a quick break and be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
I've been up at Pinda and I meet him in the showroom. I said, Pinda, I just come out of a showroom in Portugal, and let me tell you something, them showroom and selection ain't got nothing on yours. Man, I like this stock of porcelain and ceramic tile you got here. What I really like is the range of sizes that come in, 8x48, 12x24, 24x24, and what I really like, more than the things I really like, is the price. From $275 a square foot to $494 a square foot, and all in between. You can't beat that, not even with a 2x4 from Enterprises.
Hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options, and let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Dominica Republic, destination for the team. When an all-expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3. Or more money transfers to enter, what a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels. Yeah, esto está caliente. De baridas, really hot to Hola, hola from the DR. Taking pictures for the gram just to show you we are. GK Money be the motion, papi mamacita. Go to Chris Kennedy, the team is ready to start because Dominican Republic, destination for the team. With an all expense paid trip for 2 by signing 3. Or more money transfers to enter. What a deal. With Western Union, you get to see just how it feels, yeah. To see just how it feels, yeah. With Western Union.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The 54 industrial agreements the current government has signed with various labor unions constitute some $40 million extra into the pockets of Bahamian workers. That's according to Minister of Labor and Public Service Pia Glover-Roll. She's speaking during the debate on the mid-year budget in Parliament yesterday. She says people thought that labor relations were irreparably broken when the Davis administration took office in 2021, saying, quote, there was not a single industrial agreement signed in over 4 years. We got in and immediately got to work repairing the damage done. You can read more about her comments in today's Guardian. Chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, Senator Randy Roll, giving an update on the work of the CPC during this weekly press briefing, revealing that for the year, the Commission has resolved 11 complaints with a dollar value totaling $15,664. He said the CPC is currently working on 33 cases with a total dollar value of $47,000. He said the size of these cases suggests this year's figures will be bigger than last year's, adding that last year's cases totaled 444 with more than $242,000 recovered. And the Labor Division head of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Peter Gowdy, says that the anticipated Occupational Health and Safety Act will save national insurance millions of dollars once enacted. Gowdy telling Guardian Business that Minister of Labor Pia Glover-Roll is his champion on getting the much-needed legislation to Parliament before the end of the year. He added that implementing these regulations is expected to reduce industrial accidents, lowering national insurance costs and insurance. In your Market Watch, recapping trading of the BISX from Thursday, market movers, Commonwealth Bank moving 13,500 shares, down 17 cents to 485. Consolidated Water moving 1,000, down 25 cents to 520. Emira Incorporated down 9 cents, closing at 998. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,292.10 down. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And to Quest, as we wrap up the show, just a reminder, everybody, make sure you show up for the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championships, March 11th through 16th, right here in Nassau at Malcolm Park Beach Soccer Stadium. That's Tuesday, beginning Tuesday, and a cheer on the Junkanoo boys as they take on Panama and the U.S. It is free to attend, as we want to make sure the Team Bahamas makes it to the Beach Soccer World Cup in just a few months. And don't forget to pick up today's Nassau Guardian. International Women's Day is tomorrow. We've got a big supplement in the paper today. You definitely want to see that. And don't forget to spring forward.
On
Daylight
Sunday.
saving time
Absolutely.
returns on Sunday.
Happy International Women's Day in advance to all of the amazing women and girls out there.
Absolutely.
Keep rocking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here on a Friday.
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
see you
pleasure
next
to be
week,
here. See you on Tuesday. Yeah.
And I'll be back Monday morning.
Monday,
I'm not going
yeah.
to be here tomorrow. No. Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.